So this is yet again Boros Red. I haven't made any changes to the deck. I tried to play it in the Pioneer Challenge earlier, and I had some really bad draw steps and some really bad luck. I felt like we had a lot of inconsistencies with the deck. I'm finding that a lot of the inconsistencies come in the lands, and I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of struggling to understand why. There's 24 lands in the deck, and there's a really good solid curve of creatures and threats here. So I don't know. I'm really struggling to understand why Moto is giving me such a hard time over. I either get stuck on two lands or I flood out the whole time. I don't know why, and it's kind of frustrating. But I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Like it just continues to feel like that. Like when I play Moto at a certain point, like I just continuously like I get beat by Moto. I don't know. Like earlier today, like there was a couple of games earlier during the challenge that I had where it was like okay, like our opponent just drew really well and we lost. Like we played spells, but there were three separate games today. I'm sorry, there were two games where I got stuck on two lands and couldn't do anything, and then there was two games where I flooded out with zero utility lands. And granted, drawing down the Bugbear every time isn't given; it's not always going to happen. But I'm finding it kind of hard to believe that I'm just repetitively having the same problems. Like I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Like this is the same exact list. This is the same exact like 60 card list that people play in mono red. So I don't know. Like this hand's really good. I really like this curve. I'm gonna keep my hand as well. Drawing into the Bugbear is pretty good. Like, see, like this draw is already better than like most draws we had today. Plus, we're playing against like what appears to be mono red, so. Play down the Bugbear, say go. Hopefully, there's something we can stomp here. If not, we'll just go upstairs with a stomp. Chainwhirler. Alright, we'll stomp them. Because right now that's our only play next turn, and we'd rather get the 2 damage off than not, so. Alright, we have drawn a land every draw step. We're going to take 3 here, go to 14. This Chandra? Like, I imagine it's Chandra because if it was Torbran, you would have played Torbran before you attacked. Curious to know what they're going to do here. Like, are they minusing on my Bonecrusher Giant? Are they plussing to get damage in? Like, what's the play here? It's like, and our opponent's thinking pretty hard about what they're going to do here, so. Alright. We draw another land. We kept 3 lands, 4 spells, and we have drawn a land every turn since. Alright, I'm going to minus on the Chainwhirler here. think our opponent's debating whether they can plus for mana and fire up into the Bugbear. You have Goblin Chainwhirler. I don't really know what you're thinking about. That's like the best play there. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's run out Torbran. We're going to hold on the Mizzium Mortars here because we can use Mizzium Mortars to sweep up their board. So that feels pretty good. Using Mizzium Mortars here to clean up, like, might honestly be like one of our only chances. I think I'm just forced to take 5 and go to 8 here. I don't think there's really another option. I imagine they had a removal spell there for my Torbran no matter what I blocked. That's the only reason I can think for them attacking so aggressively. Alright, they play a land. Add mana. Okay. And they play Bonecrusher Giant, okay. Now we have to go to... Well, actually, we're just dead here, aren't we? Yep. I mean, all we have to do is fire up Din and then plus Chandra and we're dead. Main deck. Holy... yeah. It's not a curse. Alright, I feel like that's... Alright. Maybe you can get in trouble for, like, cussing while you're, like, playing in Moto Leagues or something. Interesting. Yeah, our opponent had multiple Chandras here and a way to beat our Chandra. Them having double Goblin Chainwhirler here was pretty good. I mean, that's fine. You still miss lethal here, like... Yep, alright, so we drew 1 non-land card that entire game. And 14 cards. We kept 3 lands and we drew 1 non-land card. Now, I gotta worry about this all game. Haha. Alright, well. At least our opponent's got a good sense of humor here. Yeah, that probably seems like the best option here. Like having our top end in this matchup in Chandra and Torbran. I'm wondering if Torbran and Chandra might be better split as 3 Hazoret, 3 Chandra. Wish I would have had this thought before that league. I would have tried it. I mean, it doesn't seem bad as, like, 6 top-end spells. Chandra is, like, a really good Planeswalker. I gotta stop doing that. I like this hand. We're gonna keep this. It's a little slow, but it is good. We're going to play that tapped. Okay. We're going to play this and say go. I'm not walking my Soul-Scar Mage into a Stomp or a Play with Fire there. I'd rather just like play with like Searing Blood, whatever they play here. Alright, I'm just going to run out Ferocidon. They have Lightning Strike, they have Lightning Strike. I feel like not many of these decks are playing Lightning Strike nowadays, so... Okay. Opponent plays Lava Coil and says go. I'm going to run out Soul-Scar Mage and hold up Stomp Searing Blood. Hazoret would not look very good here. Chandra, okay. They minus on the Soul-Scar Mage. We're just going to stomp the Chandra. Ooh, adds mana. Okay. Searing Blood, the Gatekeeper. We put our opponent to 17. Land. So we get to, this is really good here. Drawing the land is awesome because we do this plus stomp the Chandra and then attack the Chandra for 3. Now we have our own active Chandra and we have Mizzium Mortars and Torbran to follow it up with, and they have nothing on the board, so this feels like a pretty good sequence of events for us. They have a second Chandra, okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, we'll take a free Torbran here. Like, we're just gonna like take the. We're gonna take our spells as we can get them. I don't think letting Torbran go to put our opponent to 15, then casting Bonecrusher Giant and Soul-Scar Mage is good enough here. So I think that this is the better line. All right, they minus on the Torbran. Alright, we're going to play Torbran, and we're going to play Bonecrusher Giant and say go. So, if both of those cards were Hazoret, they would be sitting on the board, not dealt with right now, but at the same time, they would also be doing nothing. So, we'd still have Torbran in our hand, so our play that turn would have been plus Chandra for exile, and then probably play Soul-Scar Mage and Bonecrusher Giant. Playing Hazoret in a red deck changes the entire complexity of the deck. I feel like you can no longer play Cemetery Gatekeeper if that's the case. You're forced to be playing Swiftspear and Soul-Scar Mage. That's our opponent's third Chandra. They draw Chandra a lot. So play Soul-Scar Mage, plus for mana, overload this, fire up Den of the Bugbear, Our opponent concedes. Yeah, I was like, that was... We were running away with that one quick there. They never saw Chain of the Rocks, so they still don't know what the white is for, but we have Chain of the Rocks and Deflecting Palm here. Is Eidolon just worse on the draw? I think I'd rather have Swiftspear on the draw because it blocks better. It's more mana efficient than our 4 Eidolon, so I like having it on the draw. Really like this hand. We have a good mix of removal into top-end threats here, so we're going to keep this. Wish that one Ferocidon there was a Chainwhirler or a Bonecrusher Giant, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers kind of thing. We're going to play Den of the Bugbear because there's a very low chance we're going to need to play Chain of the Rocks next turn. Drawing into Mizzium Mortars is also very good. So I can play Chain of the Rocks here, but I think I'd rather save that for... I don't know. I hate to use 2 of these spells like this. So play Chain of the Rocks and say go. And if I need to, I can use the pathway for the white side. Very unlikely that that's what we'll end up doing, but it is a possibility. God, my man has had Chandra on turn 4 every single turn. Every single game. Adds red, red. Play Cemetery Gatekeeper. Alright. We're going to run out Ferocidon, and we're going to say go. Holding up Play with Fire, we're kind of tempting our opponent to use their Chandra to minus on our Ferocidon so that we have Play with Fire. And they just go upstairs. Okay. Our opponent's got 3 cards in hand. If they go for... Alright, we're going to run out Torbran. Okay. Gonna attempt to attack Chandra for 5 here. I mean... Alright, let's go for this in response here, because now Play with Fire deals 4. That's fine. You have to have another one here. Us having Play with Fire in response makes it to where you have to have another one, so... We do have Mizzium Mortars here to fall back on if we need it. Kind of hoping the game doesn't come to that, but... Wow. Okay. Well, our opponent has no cards in hand at least, so there's that. They kill our Torbran. Our Play with Fire does nothing. Their Chandra goes to 3. And we're going to say go. All right, that was a pretty interesting turn of events. The fact that our opponent had 3 play with fires is very surprising. I'm honestly just kind of hoping our opponent bricks here, like just a couple turns in a row, just like 1 or 2 turns, just draws a land here. Okay. We take 5. Okay. Alright, Overload Mizzium Mortars is so good. Like, I cannot express enough how much I like Mizzium Mortars in this matchup. God, this is absurd. I mean, most people aren't playing Mizzium Mortars. Like, we got a 3-for-1 right there. Alright. I mean, their worst play this turn is animating their Den of the Bugbear and putting us to 5. I feel like our opponent drew a land and they're trying to sandbag it here. Man, we're like really like right on the cusp of losing here. Our opponent's hit 5 lands and stopped here. Howdy ho, it's your ho Kyle here. Gym is closed because of snow. We were actually talking about that. We thought it might be today with everything going on. Sorry the gym's closed, man. How's your day going though? Alright. Send Ferocidon to Chandra because we have no choice. We're going to use Den of the Bugbear to block here. I'm not going to lie. I think the fact that our opponent had 3 play with fires is going to win them this game. Goblin Chainwhirler? Ugh, bruh. Not much at all, just got up, it's been good. Well, that's good, man, I'm glad. Our opponent attacks with a token here. I am going to block with the Bugbear. It's a pretty free block. Alright, maybe they have something here, but I don't think I can go to 3. Alright, something good here, please. I mean... Oh, that's really not bad. Oh man, this is awful. Stomp us, Remnant, ruin us. Alright. Concede. Alright, well, that was a pretty close game. We just ended up losing that one. We saw one, like, our opponent drew... so our opponent drew multiple Chandras every game except for that last one. They only had 1 Chandra that last game. I'm ready for the next stream later. Like, that's the most evil face I've ever seen. Yeah, dude, I finished downloading it last night, man. So it would be ready to go today. Alright, we're on the draw. This hand seems pretty solid. I feel like we're... I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're having a hard time drawing a curvable hand. Like, we keep seeing I keep seeing 1-drops, and I keep seeing 4-drops. Like Den of the Bugbear is a fine pickup there. If I'm gonna draw a land, I want it to be that one. But like the issue here is that like we have a Soul-Scar Mage next turn. We have no removal for whatever they're doing. Feels like our opponent's on like green-white humans or something. Maybe they're on green-white angel company. Banishing Light? God, is this like 9 lives garbage? Ugh. This feels like 9 lives Solemnity garbage. Alright, gonna run out Soul-Scar Mage here. And say go. Our opponent goes to 16. Now we have Chandra and Torbran next turn, depending on what our opponent plays here. We have pretty good stuff here. I don't know what's playing Banishing Light and Collective Company in the same deck. Like that's like my first thought here is that I'm always afraid of Collective Company. Enchantment spells cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life. Okay, so we're definitely going to kill that thing. Going to use our Chandra to kill that. Play Chandra. Minus. Yeah, this definitely feels like 9 lives Solemnity, like garbage pile. Which, I say garbage pile. It's a garbage pile that beats up on mono red, so... Whenever Eidolon blossoms or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Okay. Alright, let's run out Torbran. Gonna attack for 3 here. I'm going to plus for mana and play Eidolon here. Everything they've played so far has been 3 or less, except for this Eidolon of Blossoms. And then next turn, it looks like our worst play is fire up Den of the Bugbear and attack in. We'll lead on plussing with Chandra though to see what our turn looks like. Oh my gosh. I think that's lethal. Yep. We're going to overload this and then get in with the clowns. Mizzium Mortars has been like lights out today. Like everything that has happened is just basically like just adding on to the fact that I love Mizzium Mortars. It's 4-8-12 here. All right. Well, we really don't have any enchantment removal. I think we'll try Vortex. We like Ferocidon here. Don't really see a need for Searing Blood, Rending Volley. Chain of the Rocks like could be okay. Let's try it like this. I think having like Mizzium Mortars to like help, like they do play a good amount of creatures that I remember. Like best of my memory, they play a good amount of creatures. So I don't think getting rid of all of our Mizzium Mortars is the answer here. We're gonna keep this. You know, it's not a bad thought though. Like, that is something that we don't really have in the sideboard is artifact or removal. So, like, we don't have like artifact or enchantment removal. So, like, some number of wear tear might be good here in this match. Like, and not like sure in this matchup specifically, but might also be pretty good in just in general. I think we're gonna get Eidolon down here. Our opponent's gonna go to. They're just gonna stay at 19. Like, an Authority of the Consuls is good because it gains them a bunch of life, but we're not playing any haste threats, so they're not really like worried about. Like we don't play any haste threats actually, which is kind of weird to say. Our opponent casts Silhouette on Eidolon, I imagine. Wolf Haven, okay. So we're gonna play Roiling Vortex. I think it's worth it to get the Soul-Scar Mage down. Authority of the Consuls is. I basically just see that as the Roiling Vortex trigger this turn, so it just breaks us even. Eidolon of Blossoms, okay. Okay, untap land, please. I'm gonna attack and see what happens here. I'm gonna kill this thing. Let our opponent take 4, and then we're just gonna hold up Vortex activation. Just in case they try to gain life or do something crazy. I don't know what they could do here. Oath of Nissa. Tessin champion? It's a Tessin champion? Okay. Alright, well, it's a land. We're going to stomp them because that getting a 1/1 counter and them drawing a card like is not going to allow them to kill us. We're going to put them to 4. Vortex is going to put them to 3. And then we're just going to hold up activation here. Flying and Vigilance. This creature's power and toughness is equal to the number of spirits you control. Okay. That's a pretty interesting card. It feels like they're trying to play like I feel like they have to have 9 lives Solemnity in their deck. Okay. Like, our opponent's going to attack me for 3 here. Alright, untap land here would be awesome. Alright, so we play Chandra. We're just going to plus. then we're going to say go here. And, alright, cool. And our opponent just... I don't know, our opponent didn't really do anything that game, and then they just kind of died. So, that was a pretty interesting match. Hey, Bryson, what's going on, man? Alright, well, we're 1-1. Feels like our draws are already better than they were in the Pioneer Challenge earlier this morning. Holding a baby. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's exciting. Now you're not just holding a baby, man. Holding your kid. At least I assume it's your kid.
Ask him what the name is.
Oh, Carly wants to know what the name is. I'm waiting. Hang on a second. This person's name is Fat Kid Destroyers. That's interesting. People come up with some very interesting... Huh? Alright, I don't like this hand. We have a couple removal spells and a good curve here. I wonder if a Tarka Red would be any good in this format. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, well, whatever they're playing, it feels like we need to just go upstairs with them. We're going to put that one on top. Like to see Chandra. Run out the end of the Bugbear, say go. Mizzium Mortars probably won't be very good in this matchup. Check text. Okay, hang on one second. He sent me a picture of the baby. Do you want to come see it? Am I allowed to say the name out loud? Like, did you text it to me for a reason? If you did, that's cool. And if I'm not allowed to say it, that's okay too. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Big baby.
Huh?
Big baby, almost 10 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Huh?
I said, oh.
Your kid's adorable, man. And I'm not going to lie, that should make you feel a little special, because I don't really like kids, so... Okay. I have absolutely no idea what our opponent's up to here. I'm gonna plus for mana, and I'm gonna Mizzium Mortars this thing. I really don't like the idea of that thing gaining them life. So plus getting in for 3 feels pretty good here. Silas Wesley. I like that name. I hope I'm saying that right. Silas, I guess you could say. I don't know. I assume it's Silas. Lovestruck Beast. Oh no, opponent. What are you doing? What? Is this like Sultai Beats or something? I don't know what our opponent's doing, but I'm about it. I am about it. Alright, we're going to plus for mana, play Soul-Scar Mage, play Soul-Scar Mage, play Torbran. We're just going to get all of our threats out here. And then say go. We're nearing Chandra ult here, so staying aggressive on the Chandra plan seems pretty decent here. Oh no. Oh, it's Bring to Light. Valky? Oh, they My opponent cast a Valky instead of flipping it over on the backside and then conceded. Okay, that's fair. Alright, so we'll take that one. Let's see here. Roiling Vortex definitely seems to be good just off the top here. Mizzium Mortars seemed okay. I think Mizzium Mortars seemed like okay, and I want that card to be good. So I think cutting 2 Play with Fire and 2 Mizzium Mortars for 3 Roiling Vortex and a Chain of the Rocks, just as a out to some tricky cards, seems like not a bad play here. Did they change the way Bring to Light Valky works? If they did, I did not know that. I thought you could still Bring to Light for the backside of Valky, not just the front side. Or was that just Cascade? I think they changed Cascade for sure. I'm not sure if they changed... I haven't played against that deck in a while, so I'm honestly not sure if they changed it. They might have. Our opponent chooses to play first. Yeah, this hand seems fine. It's a little slow and one more land than I'd like here, but we have a good removal spell followed by some taxing threats. If they happen to play a Prosperous Innkeeper, we have Chainwhirler to help us clean up. And hopefully Eidolon's good enough to tax them here early on. No, it's okay, baby. I didn't know what you were doing. We're just going to play this tapped and say go. Okay. Run out Eidolon, say go. We want to save Chain to the Rocks for like the big threat here. Well, they're playing Growth Spiral. Okay. And then they play a normal land. Alright, we play Goblin Chainwhirler, kill the Innkeeper, attack. They don't play anything, alright. Maybe this is Bring to Light right here. Ether Gust my Eidolon. We're going to put that on top. Really interesting that you decided to Ether Gust my Eidolon during your main phase. Gonna attack for 3 here. Play Eidolon. They have nothing here. Okay. It's been a very weird game for my opponent. He's dealt damage. Okay. Alright, well, it's a good thing we have that 1-up Chain of the Rocks in our hand. We're going to stomp them. Play Chandra. Plus for mana. Go upstairs. Chain of the Rocks. All right. Well, that was a pretty quick game. I don't know. That was a weird game. Either Bryson is correct and they've changed the ruling on Valky and Pioneer, or our opponent misclicked and they put Valky instead of Tybalt into play. So either way, we're 2-1 now. Oh, good Lord. Tom Ross to say he went 8-0. Oh, wow. Tom Rossman 8-0 in the Arena Challenge today. That is very impressive to do that well in the Arena Challenge, honestly. Robert texted me and he said, "How are feeling?" That's all he said.
I are good.
Yeah, honestly. Our opponent mulligans to 6. We're going to mulligan also. I don't really feel like that hand is a winning hand. I'm going to keep this one and put the pathway back here. Say 6. Sorry, I'm trying to return some text messages in between games here. Alright, play with fire off the top. Play with fire off the top. Alright, well. Bonecrusher Giant off the top. No, alright, we only get to do that once. Essence Capture. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure us mulliganing versus them mulliganing like favors us, so pretty okay with this. I'm gonna run out my Ferocidon here, see what happens. Might get met with a counterspell, I'm not sure. Okay, Ferocidon resolves. Oh yeah, flashing that Spectral Sailor after I've resolved that. Like, if that was your play, and then our opponent plays another creature, but they didn't take one. Oh, they're mutating it. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay, that seems pretty good. Now, I'm hopeful that we'll just be able to race here with the Torbran. Oh, wow. Well, they're going to get to draw 2 cards and put us to 17. So, pretty good chance they draw a counterspell. Hopefully it's like a miscast or something like that so that we can get in under it. Torbran? Torbran? Okay, we go to 16. We attack them for 5. Our opponent goes to 14. If they flash something in here without being able to remove the Torbran, then they're just taking 3. They're just bolting themselves. Man. Our opponent has recouped from their mulligan real fast. That is less than optimal. Okay. Mizzium Mortars would be a really good draw step here. I don't know, like Bonecrusher Giant would be great. There's a lot of, man, yeah, bolt yourself off the Siren Storm Tamer. I like to see that. Gonna attack for a bunch. Block that. Take 5, go to 6. I'm going to play one of the Soul-Scar Mages here. Actually, if they counter this, then I'm going to play the other Soul-Scar Mage. What's the real danger of me playing the other Soul-Scar Mage? I feel like there's no danger. We're just dumping out our hand, and then we have it into the Bugbear next turn. So this feels pretty good. Oh, no, I can't play 3 Can't pay 3 for Mystical Dispute. They're running main deck Mystical Dispute. That's the second deck I've played against in the last 48 hours that has main deck Mystical Dispute. There must be something about the format that I don't really understand. Because, like, maybe it's because I'm always playing red. Our opponent puts us to 7. They draw 3 cards. Our opponent plays a creature here, they bolt themselves essentially. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it feels like we're in a pretty good spot. I feel like there's not many answers once we get ahead like this. They opt to the bottom. Tempest Gen puts them to 3. I think that cutting Eidolons on the draw here is better than cutting the Swiftspears because Swiftspear can pose as an early game threat and can get more damage in over time. So I like having the Swiftspears in here. I like having 3 of them in. I cut 1 because it's still one of the worst cards in our deck. 5 lands, Chain to the Rocks, Bonecrusher Giant. I think we got to try this one. Our opponent just F6 to their turn, so we're gonna take the free turn there. Run out a Soul-Scar Mage. We got to be on the play. Joke's on them. All right, drawing another Bonecrusher Giant's really good. Attack for 1. What if they're flashing at a Spectral Sailor here? I'm gonna go ahead and kill it. If they don't have a threat, they can't actually harm us in any way. They have to have threats on the field to be able to do anything. So this feels pretty good. Then our opponent concedes. Okay, that was a very fast game. We played an intricate game 1 where we just had a faster clock than they did, and then game 2 they skipped through their first turn, let us be on the play. Which happens from time to time, and then the second, or yeah, like they just didn't do anything. They just lost like fast because I don't know. I think they kept a 1-lander based off the fact that they had a Curious Obsession in hand, and it just didn't pan out. So I like this hand. The more I play this deck, the more I realize that I really like this hand better. Like I like this deck better with 1-drops in it. Now, granted, I understand that that's a very like basic and simple thing to say. That I like my aggro deck with more 1-drops, but I feel like I have a higher win percentage when I have a turn 1 play. When like if I have a turn 1 play, than when I don't. I actually have to go back and like look at like some of the VODs and stuff to see if that's true, but that's how it feels. Ooh, okay, our opponent plays Thoughtseize. They're either taking Mizzium Mortars or Rampaging Ferocidon here. Like that's my thoughts. Take Ferocidon, okay. Oh, the Woodshed is now playing Fallout New Vegas. Steam like always lets me know like when my friends are playing things. Now granted I only have 1 friend on Steam and it's Kyle, so. What if our opponent's playing the Rakdos midrange deck? Most definitely the Rakdos. Oh, it's not the Rakdos midrange deck, it's this. Okay. It's the Blood Bernie style thing. Alright, we're going to get Chainwhirler down because it blocks very efficiently against the Statuette. And we're going to attack for 2. Our opponent's at 13, and we have a Soul-Scar Mage and a Mizzium Mortars as leftovers here, so that feels pretty good. Okay. I'm going to attack with everybody. I imagine our opponent is going to turn on the Statuette here to block the Swiftspear. The way that this pans out the worst for us is if they get to do this and they have Fatal Push for the Chainwhirler. That's pretty bad. They don't have Fatal Push, we're in a pretty decent spot. Okay. I don't really want to use Mizzium Mortars here. I would rather get the Eidolon down and force our opponent to play into the Eidolon, because best I remember, a lot of their deck is 3 or less. They have a few things that are 4 or greater. At least I think. I don't know. This kind of feels like the Rakdos mid-range list. Like, this kind of feels like a weird mix of things. I don't know what I want here. I mean, I don't really feel like they're on the Rakdos burn list, like that Rakdos like treasure token-y burn thing, because it just feels very I don't know. Oh, thank you, baby. Bring in 3 Chain of the Rocks and a Deflecting Palm and cut 4 Eidolons. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it like this and see what happens. Ah! This hand's very good. We have multiple threats, good curve. The Deflecting Palm in the main, like, having the Deflecting Palm in our hand now is probably a little unnecessary. Deflecting Palm most of the time is one of those cards that you want to draw, like, exactly when you need it, like, which I know sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's very true, I feel like. Play Haunted Ridge tapped. Alright, we're going to attack for 2 here. Opponent probably has Fatal Push. Yep. Alright, we attack for 1. Play Sacred Foundry tapped and say go. Vampire's Kiss? Okay, so they're just playing like some kind of weird mix of this deck. Gonna play a tapped land and hold up Deflecting Palm here. Bro, what? Okay. That's a spicy meatball. Alright. Harvester's fine. I mean, the fact that we have backup Chandra and Chain of the Rocks in our hand makes me feel pretty okay about plussing and then playing the Mizzium Mortars here. We might be, like, we might at some point need to, like, might have wanted that to sweep up, but the way the game's going, I don't really feel like it is. That's the case. Red Cat melee? Okay. Alright, well, we have an active Planeswalker, and they have an empty board with some blood tokens, so... They also went first, and they missed a land drop. Alright, they hit this one, though. Okay. Okay. Now, if they have Shrapnel Blast, they could Shrapnel Blast the Chandra and then attack us for 3, but it appears they don't. Untapping with Chandra. Yeah, getting to untap with Chandra there is insane. So, we can just plus to exile, and then we can... Well, we can't play Chain of the Rocks on anything. Holding up Deflecting Palm and Stomp is probably our best play here. Probably our best line, so we're just going to plus and see what we hit. Yeah, nope. Well, our opponent knows we're on Chain of the Rocks now. Playing something with Improvise here. Herald of Anguish. Alright, so our opponent's on a little bit of a grindier list here, it appears. Each opponent discards a card? Yeah, I guess we're going to discard this. We're going to cast... We're going to stomp them. We're furthering our game plan this way. Alright, let's plus and see what we hit here. Soul-Scar Mage is pretty good. We can kind of do it all here with Soul-Scar Mage. Yep. Bonecrusher Giant. This is another spot where Lava Coil would not have been good enough, so... Continue to enjoy playing Chain of the Rocks in this deck. Okay. I mean, next turn, like, depending on what they do here, we just get to ult Chandra, play Chandra, and then just kind of go off from there. They discard Battle at the Bridge. They discard Vampire's Kiss. I feel like they're discarding very good cards here. Like, I don't really know what they're looking for. And then they just concede? Alright, that was a very weird game. Our opponent could have sacrificed the... Yeah, I don't know. We throw a Soul-Scar Mage in front there. I don't know. Like, they had a couple of options that were at least, like, somewhat playable there. I don't know. That was very odd. Alright, well, we had a 4-1 league, which is kind of funny because we had a 1-3 Pioneer Challenge this morning, but the 4-1 league feels pretty good. We saw at least 2 or 3 times when Mizzium Mortars was insane, in this matchup or in this deck. We got to sweep the board multiple times. Our one loss was our first match, and it was to mono red aggro, and we lost a very close game 3. I continue to think that you want the Swiftspears in the deck over the Cemetery Gatekeepers. I am wondering what tech there is that's good enough to help in the matchups where you would rather have Gatekeeper. Deflecting Palm is like such an interesting card because there's been in the last 2 weeks, I have drawn twice because of Deflecting Palm in game 3 and got to play an extra game and won the 4th game. So Deflecting Palm has literally given me another opportunity to win a match twice in the last 2 weeks. I wonder if Searing Blood is just better. I also wonder if there's something else that's just better than Searing Blood. Like, is playing Lightning Strike in the sideboard just better than playing Searing Blood? Like, is playing 3 Lightning Strikes better? I like the fact that Searing Blood goes upstairs and deals damage to them, but Lightning Strike does have more utility. Or I don't know, because you can't cut the Chain of the Rocks. I don't really want to play Lava Coil because it's a sorcery. And some part of me wants to play like a couple Wear Tears. I don't know. I'll probably think about this with some changes over the next couple weeks or whatever, and see what I can come up with here before the Mana Trader series to maybe help iron everything out here. But yeah, this was Boros Red.